All right, so I'm going to address this only once, and it's only to correct and clarify some things and to keep you guys in focus and clarity. And that's the thing, a lot of you, when you live in that energy, like you commit yourself and committed to truth, clarity, and justice, don't be surprised that all you see and experience is truth, clarity, and justice. It's you being that, right? So a lot of you, when you even find yourself like, oh, I can't be a liar, I have to be in my truth, like it makes you uncomfortable. This is who I'm talking. Yeah, a lot of you are rare breed in this lifetime, in this world, in this energy. Okay, and a lot of you, spirit, energy, intuition, your inner warrior, higher selves are all of like telling you what to do, because we are forged and created and made in like chaos and stuff like that, so that we can correct it. So a lot of you, I need to speak with some of you that spirit wants to talk to. I don't know what he's saying. It's like the Tupac energy. For those of you, you know Tupac. Energy. I really hope you can read my mind, because not everybody can be said here. We cannot say everything, and I have to go as usual. But I'm just, it's just the encourage and the energy comes all the time, because I was literally just thinking about and talking about it with spirit. I was like, why are we, like, why is this energy of trying to not only continue dividing the movement, but also like there's different sections of retaliation of people, right? So we have a section of people who also, this is part of the propaganda, because at the end of the day, we need to focus is that it's billionaires, oligarchs, pedophiles, psychotic people versus the working class. That's it. This is why they're trying so hard that you don't look at it that way. This is why, by the way, for all those of you, your intuition is right. You were right. Spirit was like, oh, manufacturing weapon companies, they're having the threat of their lives since 2023 happened. October 7th, this is the people who benefit more from this. You know, Israel, all these warmongering people who make money out of their funded shareholders. Yeah. Lobbyists, but specific companies of weapon. Companies who sell bombs, who create like all of that energy. Spirit keeps saying that that's our focus. Yeah. And they don't play fair, right? Because what the fuck is all this with people who are basically civilians, right? Innocent people who work, who they make money. Like, you guys are taxpayers. You are the employer. Politicians, billionaires, and all that stuff, they are your employees. And they think, and they've been working so hard, trillions of propaganda to make you guys believe that you are the employee. Yeah, let that sink in. Now, this is why I'm saying, like, now there are different tactics. There's different tactics that they're doing to continue the manipulating, lying, controlling, and taking from you, because that's what's really it, right? Now, imagine that there's a surplus of taxes, that it could be that it goes to all these people that are politicians, all these people, companies, shareholders, that stuff like that. Imagine if that surplus was removed from them and it was put somewhere else, was put for education, was put for healthcare, was put for free housing, was put imagine what the world would look like. This is the energy that they don't want you guys to think about. This is the spiritual awakening. This is the ego death, finally, energy. And this is where a lot of us are. And we understand those who are not in the same level as us. This is what I'm here for. Yes. I'm sorry there's a lot of information like coming all at once. I want to make that clear, because yes, it can be overwhelming. It can be like a lot going on. And but it's part of the process. It's part of, like, you know how we say trust the process? The trusting the process is also trusting that other divine beings, earth warriors, and people who want different, who literally are fire energy, comes from ancestors and long, like, this has been forged a long time ago. So we understand when other people are not in the same group, let's say, or the same made of the same cloth. Thank you, Spirit. Made of the same cloth. Some people are made of different cloth, but it's all combined together. All has a purpose in this energy, right? We're praying for this. We're talking about this. We're manifesting, right? We want equality. We want millions. We want benefits. We blah, 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 equality, but you're not willing to do the work. This is why manifestation people are kind of weird to me, because it's like, okay, you think that for you, when you manifest and you do your stuff, that it comes to you, then that's it. And it doesn't happen to other people, that is okay with you. That is capitalism. That is spiritual gaslighting. And you're expecting that for other people. You even charge and coach and stuff like that. And you make money out of lying to people. Because at the end of the day, you also know that you can't be siding with the evil satanic people. And a lot of people ask me, what is the satanic like energy, right? It's like a conscious, but it's not conscious, it's unconscious. It's where the dark matter and things happen in the background that the enemy likes to take advantage. The worst form of humanity, and a lot of people are like, that's humanity? And I'm like, no, it's a little beyond that. Demonic beyond. And there's a lot of people that match that frequency and that are able to enact it here in this planet. Like their vessel, it's enacting it. This is why a lot of us were seeing some things change and weird, like what happened to Jim Carrey, right? You're not crazy. There's something did happen to him. Now, we will need to tap in and investigate more, but there's something did happen and they don't want you to know, right? He was too woke. He was too much. He was changing and influencing people and making them think emotionally intelligent. So again, go back into the same thing. All the distraction, all these wars are benefiting warmongering people, and shareholders are billionaires. Billionaires who fund politicians, who fund lobbyists, who do fund wars and make money out of those things. Get focused. This is spiritual. Father God, our creator, Gaia, our beautiful energy divine, cannot work with you if you're not in alignment, if you're not decolonized, if you're not in the right side of history, is the right side of like against genocide, ethnic cleansing, erasure of people, colonization. That is low vibration, right? All I'm saying, hate, jealousy, murdering, raping, what, women and children, what? Pedophilia, that's, what the fuck? I'm mentioning to you all the shit that you guys think it's normal, and and they're trying so hard to normalize it through media, through music, through entertainment, to anything. Propaganda, influencers who get paid, who now are saying that they didn't get paid, so they wasted their money lying. Yeah, you did, bitch. Now you'll be the embarrassment, you curse. The moment you accept the money, you curse. It doesn't start when you just start working. No, boo. It starts the moment that you say yes, that you sign a contract, that there's a sealed contract. And that's what I call, like, you know, people say that they sell their soul to the devil. That is the one. When you justify and support and knowing the truth, you know that, some of you know the truth. That's the saddest part for me. It's like, you know the truth, you know that you can research, you know that we're telling the truth, and you still lie. Why? Because it makes you money. I hope that was worth it. I hope so. Now, going off the money, that it's not about that. This is not about that. And no, I don't think what's going on right now with diaspora, with the movement, which I see it, I understand it, but we need to keep it focused, okay? Because this is intentional. This is intentional. You need to be aware so you can break the spell. Are we ready? Are you ready? It's important to know when you're being used by the enemy, but also it's important to know when someone reaches their threshold. People in movements or any activism or anything, and they call them, they don't want to speak generalized activists. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. But you also have to understand that we see your perspective, we understand your point of view, but we also understand that you don't understand us, that you don't understand those who cannot stand to watch the bully constantly bully an innocent person, or try to kill them, or try to murder them, and try to rape them, and stuff like that. And I understand a lot of you're thinking, oh no, but you know, we cannot do things with violence because this and such and such and such. But we're dealing with very violent people who are not being held accountable, who are still doing their atrocious and horrible things. You cannot categorize the resistance with no. When we're trying, like when when we're trying to defend ourselves, you cannot categorize us as our abusers. That is white supremacy. And I understand, you know, you're white and all that stuff, and that's your threshold, we know. But please understand that your language is violent.
I feel like now is an appropriate time to remind everybody that this is like the end goal. Always has been. Everything always makes sense when you view it through this lens, and why Israel is the constant disruptor in the Middle East and constantly attacking all of these surrounding countries. The only thing that is really in the way of Israel being able to do this plan is Iran. That's it. Theodore Herzl is the man who created this plan. Theodore Herzl didn't approach it from a religious standpoint. They just used that for propaganda. He approached it from a political standpoint. Theodore Herzl is the founder of Zionism. I think it's worth noting that Herzl was a secular Jew. He didn't practice Judaism. That's the foundation of Greater Israel. It's not biblical. And Bibi Netanyahu constantly refers to him as a visionary. He calls him the modern Moses. He keeps a large statue of this guy in his office, and he presents it to world leaders that come to visit as the George Washington of Israel. This is not a conspiracy theory. Prominent leaders in the Israeli government, as recent as last year, held conferences where on the podium they were speaking at, the map of Greater Israel was plastered on the front of it. IOF soldiers in Gaza were wearing patches on their uniforms of Greater Israel. Their goal in everything is to weaken neighboring Arab states for this plan. Right now, Iran is their biggest obstacle towards progressing this plan. They need to remove the axis of resistance. Iran is the only remaining independent regional power that is capable of challenging Israeli military dominance, which is why Israel constantly pulls us into their fights that they start. A direct war that leads to a regime change and power vacuum that weakens Iran is like a wet dream for Israel. Some analysts have even suggested that defeating Iran would allow Israel to force Arab states like those in the Gulf into a permanent security alliance, effectively neutralizing any pan-Arab resistance or opposition to Israel. And it's no secret that a major conflict with Iran often involves direct U.S. military involvement, which provides the necessary cover and resources for Israel to continue to carry out this project, which is evident by the amount of money that we are sending them right now. Also why people believe that they are the ones who attacked Turkey, because Iran is saying it was not them. They are not claiming responsibility for that, because that would then also involve NATO in protecting Israel and providing resources for Israel. This is what they use the Epstein files for. A way to blackmail Trump into wars that he said that he wouldn't start, because they need those wars in order to accomplish their end goal.
Are you hearing what I'm saying? What? Calgary is underneath a water restriction starting Monday due to the new data centers there. Calgary is underneath a water restriction. A Canadian province is underneath water restriction. Mind you, did you know that Carney also agreed to build more data centers? There's actually one going to go in Mississauga. Calgary is, are you hearing what I'm saying? What? Calgary is underneath a water restriction starting Monday due to the new data centers there. Calgary is underneath a water restriction. A Canadian province is underneath water restriction. Mind you, did you know that Carney also agreed to build more data centers? There's actually one going to go in Mississauga.
13 elite families have been running this planet for hundreds, maybe thousands of years, in part by using magic and telling you that magic doesn't exist. So today, I'm going to expose a little bit of the magic that they use. And a huge misconception that everybody who thinks that they're in the know perpetuates. So let's refresh our memory about what magic is. The base of magic is that we are all perpetually co-creating the realities around us, right? And the basic idea is if one can manipulate their mind, they can manipulate their reality. So let's break down the conspiracy and I'll tell you how it actually works. So the idea, and I think this is one of the first conspiracy I ever heard 15, 20 years ago, was that the Illuminati or the evil cabal or whatever, goes by many different names, has to, by karmic law, tell people what they're doing before they do it, which is why sometimes we see, people say, like, in The Simpsons, the Simpsons are predicting things, or different TV shows or different mediums are predicting certain things or telling us certain things before they happen. And it's, some sort of arbitrary karmic law that they have to follow. That's incorrect. Keeping in mind the definition that we just set up for magic, what's happening is the exact opposite. Here's the thing. If I wanted to accomplish a massive thing, a big thing, and I knew that all of us are co-creators in this reality, right? The easiest way for me to accomplish a large thing would be to implant the images and the ideas and the emotions into the minds of hundreds or thousands or millions of people in order to accomplish that thing, in order to bring that thing to light. The outrage happens in the news before it happens in the streets, right? The concepts start on the internet before they start in the streets, in reality, right? So in this way, they're using everyone's collective creative power to their own advantage and against yours.
And you need to see it. When we're not asking for no. We're not seeking that. We're just saying that when you reach your threshold, stay in your threshold. You're giving for you are the source, beacon for people to donate for Palestine or Congo, Sudan. That is awesome. And you speak the truth and your stuff like that. And we understand that you reach a threshold where because this is what I'm seeing. Like, a lot of people are like, no, you don't understand Palestinians. Yeah, Palestinians are, they're celebrating when they see Iran's bomb rockets. I feel like a lot of who I'm speaking here to, and much love, this is not to hate, and I'm speaking for both, because a lot of you, both sides, are being used right now to regurgitate or to try to create some type of chaos to divide the movement. Stay together, okay? You just different threshold. One has reached a threshold where for them is like, well, I have friends in Israel, occupied Palestine, Israel, right? And bombing Israel, Tel Aviv is bad. Why is that person still there when they know that that's occupied Palestine? And a lot of you are Palestinian. Okay. So you think that every Palestinian does not support Israel genocidal movement? You don't think that they have benefit, that they support financially, that there's something that they're gaining? This is why they have colluded and, and are okay. They're paying taxes in Israel, right? And all of Palestine, everybody. I'm not saying like this is why it's so like you have to, and I understand where you're coming from, but also you have to understand where the resistance is coming from. Us watching, like, we are not the same cloth. A lot of us are forged and born to overcome that, and a lot of you, we understand that bothers you, and that's okay. You're the people that will see a bully attacking an innocent person nonstop, bullying them, and you're the only person that is there, and you're just recording, right? You will record it. You will not stand up for that person because you think you don't have the fighting skills. A lot of us, we don't have time for that. We don't think about those things. We just act. We just make sure. Like, I remember as a kid, I was always the fucking bully of the motherfucking bullies. I will fucking make their bullies a fucking living nightmare in high school. They will never mess with any bully again. You see, we're not the same. We're not. We're here, a lot of us, their cloth is justice, it's coming from the spirit, the Goth wrath, right? And a lot of you, it's a forge, it's a fire within ourselves. Some of us, we don't have that. And that's okay. This is why, and I'm not saying, I'm not condemning also, like a lot of people's like, oh, but you're inducing violence. Okay, so we're not looking at our abusers, how violent they are though. We are justifying and normalizing their behavior and not holding them accountable because they're powerful with money, with bombs and all that shit. And we're just gonna leave it like that. We're not gonna look at that. That in turn is white supremacy. That is racism. That is comfortability. That is silence. And I know, I understand that whoever I'm speaking to, you haven't stayed silent. And we're grateful for you. We're grateful for whatever it is that you're doing. But remember that we are not made the same. Now, I'm referring to also the people who are calling people who are pro-Palestinians, anti-Zionists, anti-capitalists, that we have a mental illness. That one, it made me laugh so hard because I was like, who are you to detect what people's mental illness is? Someone who is psychotic, who is okay with watching children and also knowing the politicians and people in power because it makes you money. Even if it's not you doing it yourself, but you support it by taxes, buying the same products and companies. They're all connected. All billionaires are connected. Everything is connected for them. Just like they know that the earth are in synchronicity or sync within nature, trees, that trees can have a secret language, silent language, that everything has, like indigenous and black people knew this long time ago, right? So they've been trying to disrupt that, cut that, because they don't have that ability. And they've been trying to degrade it, gaslight it, and trying to damp it all the way. So I'm saying for some of you, you're unconsciously doing this. Unconsciously. And we're just saying, like, know when you need to stop. Okay? Your energy is needed, and we know that you reach a threshold. You're saying that, oh, I will never just be okay. Yeah, we're not some people, we're not okay with we're not with the government of Iran, for sure. But right now is the only, a lot of you have a lot of speaking and saying things that okay, so do you have the solution? Come and tell us. Come embrace it. Come take action, right? Instead of just talking with your mouth. A lot of you talk a lot with your mouth, but you're not doing shit, right? All those of us, we need to talk a lot, but we barely have time, and we have to continue doing shit and helping people, volunteering, caregiving, all the stuff that people are not doing, helping the elderly, the disabled, helping communities survive right now. Needs to be mutual aids, and a lot of us, matriarchy, women, we need to get together and help people pay rent. Everything's increasing. Like, that's what we're saying. Like, we're getting bombed in different ways. This is why it hasn't affected you yet. And I know financially you're also struggling. We understand. But also understand that just because it hasn't happened to you, it doesn't mean that it will not. Or that we all have to stay quiet and stand still. Like, what are your solutions? This is what I'm saying. Like, a lot of you, it's not violence. Okay, violence is not a solution of this. Please tell us a non-violent way that has worked in the past before. When you find that, please leave it in the comments, send me an email. I want to know if you're so keen of like, oh, we shouldn't induce violence with violence, like 2 wrong doesn't make it right, but for me, I'm just saying, while you're doing the research, okay, while you're researching that, know that every second or every minute someone's dying in Palestine, being bombed and all kinds of stuff. And meanwhile, right now, even though Iran is a distraction, and for a lot of you it's not, but it's basically that it slows down the murdering massacre of Palestinians in Gaza and the Rafah. Like, it was intense before the attack. that happened this weekend, and USA and Israel bomb Iran. Now it's less, but still, it's still going. So what is your solution to stop a psychopath, maniac, organization, lobby, cult, death cult? They're a cult, right? And there's put their cover, Zionism cover, their AIPAC cover, their landlord cover, their politician cover, they're all together. The Epstein files, they had it the whole time. They just, let's give him some distraction. But it's all their crimes. It's Epstein files, colonialism. It's everything they've done to black people, indigenous people, but now it's just white people. And now you guys are like, what the fuck, right? But if it was like, I don't know, if there was Epstein file, like the P. Diddy one, like that one, yeah, a lot of silence about that one, right? But it's the same Epstein file, same one. Yeah, nobody wanted to talk about that. There's a lot of awakening. A lot of people are in different levels. That's what I'm saying. When someone reaches a threshold, you let them be. Don't make content about them. That's why I'm not talking about this again. They reach your threshold, you're in a different threshold. If you're the person that are like, you're not in that energy where you're not condemning Iran or stuff like that, and you're like, the resistance, and you're, supporting and sending energy to Iran, and like, so they don't get invaded, because if they lose what they're resisting and stuff like that, we all lose. This is why this person is not there yet. So you can judge my Palestinian content creators and people like that. You cannot judge that person. They did what they did, and they did good. They've been doing good, but they reach a threshold. Leave them be. And whoever you're watching, if you know that I'm talking about you, you reach your threshold. That's fine. But know that you will be with us eventually, because it will happen to you. I'm telling you. All of us who are speaking like this and we're in the resistance, we're tired. And I know you're tired too. We're different trauma, different PTSD, different fucking levels of this. But I'm telling you right now, let go of the judgment. Let go of the resentment. Let go of this energy like, oh, but no. Your friends, Palestinians, who are still there, come on. Tel Aviv, really? Really?
The toxic black rain in Iran is spreading to other countries in Asia, going from Tehran towards Central Asia and then making its way towards Western China. This is, of course, after the US and Israel hit oil depots in Tehran, after which dense black clouds blotted out the sun, plunging parts of Tehran in total darkness during the day, which not only caused a nuclear winter type of an effect, but the acid rain that is falling can cause skin damage and respiratory issues upon contact. In response, Iran hit Israel's Haifa refinery with the Khyber-Sheikhan next-generation missile. And then the Iranians announced that they also have the right to now hit US-backed energy infrastructure in the region. And right after Iran announced that, Israeli media furiously started reporting that the US is mad at Israel for hitting Iran's oil super hard, with Israeli Channel 12 and the Times of Israel right here announcing that Steve Witkoff and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner are now going to Israel on Tuesday in order to talk to them about this hit in Iran's oil depots.
And if you think Israel gets to continue to exist in a manner that threatens Iran, no, Israel murdered the supreme leader. They now have the son of the supreme leader as the supreme leader. You think he's going to sit there and say, it's all cool. You murdered my dad. You killed my daughter. You guys tend to forget about that. 14-month-old granddaughter of Ali Khamenei, murdered by Israel. Murdered. And you want to pretend that they're going to sit there and say, it's all good. 170 school children murdered by the United States. And you want to pretend that Iran's going to go, it's good. They blew up an oil facility. It's raining acid rain, death, oil, death, fire in the streets in Tehran. And you want the Iranians to go, that's cool. What the hell? Let bygones be bygones. No, Israel and the United States entered an existential war against Iran. Existential means life terminating. Iran has played that game. They picked up the ball and they said, let's play. They're not going to quit until they get their results. And their results are America out of the Middle East and Israel never again flexing the greater Israeli muscles. Benjamin Netanyahu's dream of Abraham's Accords are done, finished. They will never happen. India's playing a stupid game of that somehow there's going to be an India, Middle East, European economic corridor. They sold down an Iranian ship, a fellow BRICS member. They allowed it to be sunk on their watch. That's it for India. That's it. This is a bigger game. Iran is not going to sit there and let the map be reset. They have the advantage. They're winning. They're going to win. They have a plan. Their plan hasn't changed. Pete Hegseth has changed the American war plan 5 times in 10 days. So, again, tell me how America's winning this thing. Tell me how Israel's winning this thing. They're not.
First, I think I agree with you that Iran is winning strategically. I think this is failing for the US. This is a failed regime change operation. We have reports that the Kurds are also out. There's been talks about the Kurds being armed and being part of this. And one of the Kurdish groups put out a statement, an open statement, saying we're going to remain outside this conflict. But at the same time, if you told me a few months ago, Khamenei is going to be killed, Iran's going to be bombed to oblivion by the US, by Israel, and Iran's going to drag the entire Gulf into the war. And they warned in advance they're going to drag the Gulf into this. I would be expecting a lot more damage in the Gulf. I'd be expecting, I know Israel's hard to really get facts from the ground. They've got pretty heavy censorship there. But I'd expect more damage on US bases. Again, it's hard to know. There's an expensive radar, a few radars that were hit. So they did sustain some damage. It's hard to know exactly what type of damage. But you look at those Gulf countries, they haven't joined the war directly. They haven't bombed Iran back. They've been hit by Iran. But at the same time, they've been able to intercept over 90% of the missiles. So when you say Iran is going to turn Israel inside out, I'm just trying to understand. I think Iran is capable, from what I'm seeing, is capable to sustain the closure of the Strait of Hormuz long enough for Trump to no longer want this war. And if Trump doesn't want this war, Israel cannot sustain it alone. So that's where we agree. But I just don't see anything more that Iran could do militarily. And I also don't see what involvement China and Russia will have in this. There's reports now also today that Russia and China, especially Russia, are watching to see how Iran sustains this war, to see how much they're going to help. Similar to Ukraine. NATO watched Ukraine, and when they saw Ukraine doing pretty well against Russia in the early days, they started flooding it with military equipment, and now we're in a multi-year war. So the same thing could happen in Iran. This could become a prolonged conflict.
But what's the source of that? What's the source of that, Mario? I'm just curious, because I have some very good sources in Russia, probably better than yours. And
And a lot of you're one of those people who judge Iranians who are in that Zionist energy, celebrating the death of the supreme leader, whatever. And it's the same thing at the end of the day, because and it's all conditioned and programmed to be confusing, and it's not supposed to be confused. It's supposed to be straightforward. But yeah, I have to go. I feel it, but it's just like it's a need to say something, because it is affecting everyone's life in the background as well. And all of us, we barely have any time to even and even that is like a privilege, a commodity, and we feel guilty for that. So we constantly have to be doing something. So this is why when we look at other people coming from that privileged perspective, that white supremacy, that's still dismantling that needs to happen. And I understand that a lot of you, you don't want to get that educated. You reached your limit. You're like, yeah, no. But at the end of the day, every group of the resistance matters. So you, part of that, you just reach your threshold and you matter in that specific niche or a specific thing that you're doing. Everybody else, I feel like whoever you are, don't judge or look at other people who have that energy, that capability, and it comes from a more justice energy. Okay, these people are still free. These people are war criminals. I don't know about you, but I don't feel comfortable with that, and I'm gonna do everything in my power with all my resistance and union and everybody to make that stop. We're not the same cloth, and that's fine. I love you. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that, please, you're colluding the algorithm. You do have a lot of influence and a lot of people watch you. So we're trying to say is that it's nice that you think that way. We validate your opinions, but we know that you will never validate our opinion, right? We are letting us know that us defending ourselves, that we are not the one that will hold the camera and hold and just watch and not defend or not intervene with that bully or beat the shit of that bully and free that victim, that survivor, right? We're not the same, and that's fine. But do understand that you do not understand us, that you judging us for literally going to the crossfire, not thinking about our lives, that we could fucking sacrifice anything for a person that we will have never known. But somehow spirit tell us you need to defend them. they are innocent. You need to protect them no matter what. This conflict was not just happened just like that. And Tel Aviv just like, a lot of you, like, you feel like, oh, us telling that is part of karma, that is part of justice. I don't know if we were watching the same thing for the past 3 years. I'm not sure if you were documenting like a lot of us, that some shit happened to you in your life while you were documenting, exposing it. How our life has been completely changed and different now, that we're not thinking the same way. And that's okay. You will be where we are. It's just you're not there yet. And that's fine. But don't be an asshole about it. Okay? A lot of us will do not sacrificial, but because we know they're doing sacrifice on us and kids and stuff like that, eating them and stuff like that. It's I suppose for you. If you're okay with that, that's fine, mijo. Continue doing what you're doing. But a lot of us, we're not fine with that, and we're gonna do what needs to be done. Okay? And I know that violence for you is as, condition and program as well, because you're hoping that non-violence is gonna help us. Go tell that to the indigenous people. Go tell that to the Palestinian getting bombed. Go tell that to the Iranian moms who found their fucking children last weekend dead, massacre in their fucking school. Go tell them that. Go tell them that. Right? You have the audacity to say that violence shouldn't happen because you have some Palestinians in Tel Aviv and blah 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 and guacaliboop-tiri-boop-tiri-doo, right? How do you know that those people in Palestine and Tel Aviv are not working to liberate themselves too and do what they gotta do? And yes, they might have to do it a little violent. Will that affect you? Will that make you like, oh wait, I see they're resistant, right? No. Someone has to prove to you something. You need to, it's like the scripture from Jesus. You're Thomas. You're Thomas. You're Thomas. The resistance, the energy of Christ consciousness that wants equality and justice and fuck billionaires and the guillotine to the billionaires, right? A lot of you don't want to look at Christ consciousness that way because it's too violent. Oh yeah? Tell that to the people who are being fucking raped, stabbed, and bombed right now. Tell them that you're gonna not attack their abusers, not violent. Tell them that. I can't wait for to hear that. I can't wait till you tell them someone who is being massacred, completely erased, trying to erase it. And also, look at Lebanon. They're invading Lebanon and Iran at the same motherfucking time. Trying to Iran because Iran is not going to go down that easily. And that's how you should be too. But no, you're looking at them like, it's their government, they're dictators, and blah, blah, blah. Nobody's perfect in this fucking shit. We all know we're done fucked up shit. But rectify it, take accountability, and change the motherfucking sad shit. What the fuck? That's what I'm saying. And it's coming from a place of love. I love you. You're great. You know who you are. I don't have to mention the names. We all know who each other. All comrades, socialists, and all movements, we know each other now. You know who I'm talking to. Now, please respect other Palestinians having their opinion as well. Because you cannot take the opinions of others, can you? But you expect other people to take their opinion and not say anything, right? Ay, Dios mío. We're not made the same cloth, and that's okay. Que viva la resistencia, and forever and always. That is Christ consciousness. That's why you guys did not read well the Bible and beyond, because there's beyond reading the Bible. There's beyond reading all those textbooks. They're just tools. Tarot reading is beyond. Psychic reading, medium shit, clairvoyant is beyond. We are beyond that. And that doesn't mean that we're better. It's just that we kill the ego. And we know when to bring it up, when to summon it, and when to keep it quiet. You're not there yet, and that's okay. That's fine. Continue what you're doing. Don't stop, or don't try to know that when the enemy is using you to separate the movement, you're being used. And I hope you're not getting paid to do all this stuff. I really hope so, or that you're not getting threatened by anything, because it sounds really fishy that all of a sudden you're just against the resistance. And I know you understand, but we know that you don't understand yet. But you will. Read some books, huh? Get educated so you don't look like a fool. And you don't, put a fucking donkey on your mouth, because that's what you did. And we understand it. We're just going to take out the donkey mouth, the donkey foot of your mouth, okay? And let you to, stay in your lane. right? Everybody else has different lanes. Everybody else cannot just stand watch the bully people and kill people and bomb people. We just can't, okay? And a lot of us make sure that you're preparing yourself, you're equipping yourself. This is not as billionaire psychopath or with intense weapon machines and AI data center, which good thing that they're bombing them, because we don't want that shit. I don't want AI. Bomb it all. I don't give a fuck. You against that? That's not my problem. That's your problem. You want people to monitor, surveil you, watch you, want to eat your kids and stuff like that. You want to pedophile. Fuck you. I don't want that shit. And I'm going to continue. Yeah, whatever it takes. Don't give a shit. I'm support. No. You will not convince me. I am very hard to manipulate and control. This is what I'm trying to tell you. You will get to that point, whoever you are. You will get there. But you're not there yet. And that's okay. Just make sure that you're working on it, because you just look really like, just not. I love you. Free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, and free all the oppressed. Free everyone, even those who are still stuck in the little white supremacist racist Ferris wheel. Burn that shit down. Burn it all down. That's the point. We want a new earth, a new ecosystem, and a new environment where all this shit, wars don't happen and all this shit does not happen. We need to dismantle it first. What do you mean? Abolish. Abolition of everything? The system that there was to matriarchy, socialist, change. We want change. Every possible way. Don't forget. Stay focused. Coño.
Israel is getting absolutely pummeled by missiles right now, Iran has a new Ayatollah, and the US is learning more about the costs of this war. So first, we don't know exactly what's going on in Israel because Israel has very heavy censorship measures, but we know that it is being hit, and it is being hit hard. The warning sirens that Israelis typically get when they are facing a missile barrage went down from like 30 minutes to 2 minutes in the first few days of the war as Iran took out more and more of the detectors around the region. And now many places in Israel are getting hit with missiles and not getting any warning at all. These missiles are coming from Iran, which has started breaking out its larger than 1-ton missiles, and they're coming from Hezbollah, which is striking surprisingly deep into Israel. Something that's only happening because the US-Israeli technology in the region that's meant to prevent that from happening has all been destroyed by Iran's Shahed drones. As was predicted months ago, the interceptor math did not work out in Israel's favor. Second, Iran has a new Ayatollah Khomeini, the son of the last Ayatollah Khomeini, who we don't know super much about, but we know that he is a hardliner who is deeply connected to the IRGC and is probably pretty pissed that Israel and the US killed most of his family in the initial decapitation strike. It's a selection that is in complete defiance of the US because it seems as though the Trump administration was banking on the idea that they would get some sort of moderate, that they could strike some sort of Venezuela-esque deal with, which obviously they are not going to get. And the fact that they even expected this reveals a total dearth of knowledge about Iran. And that is crazy, because how do you invade a country that you clearly know absolutely nothing about? Once again, proving they did no kind of strategic thinking at all. And finally, we have learned that the US has already paid quite a steep price for the war in Iran, and it is only getting steeper. For one, we learned that the first 2 days alone cost the US $5.6 billion. That's almost $3 billion a day. Not to mention the countless billions of taxpayer dollars that literally went up in smoke because Iran has been targeting all of the US assets in the region with Shahed drones and getting incredible bang for their buck for it. Also, in addition to the 7 US service members that have been obliterated in this war that's justification boils down to, well, Israel told us to, we also know that over 150 US service people are casualties of this war, meaning they incurred some serious injuries. And another reminder of how stupid it is to join the United States military. I do not care how good the house/car/student loan package is. You will be getting PTSD every time you try to start up your lawnmower because you caught yourself at the wrong end of a Shahed drone because you were halfway across the globe trying to impose Jeffrey Epstein's vision for the world on the planet. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed. We are still staring down total economic collapse. Israel remains an apartheid state even while it's getting bombed, and it is still committing genocide and ethnic cleansing in Gaza, the West Bank, and Lebanon. And as this spirals into a world war, it really makes you think about who the real axis of evil is on this planet.
All right, so this is a quick message right after. I love what I do, guys. I was with my client and she made me think about something. That's another thing. When you are one of those people that are here to bring peace and comfort and feeling safe and stuff like that for a lot of people, your energy it's very needed, okay? So I know that for people, as I work with people with disability to make sure that their daily tasks and stuff like that they need, which a lot of you find that it's like a normal, or like, oh, it's like a, not everybody, their needs are met. And when those needs are met, people usually not only feel better, they're willing to grow and learn and all that. So you also have to be reminded of that the people who are in power don't want you sleeping, don't want you feeling good, don't want you feeling peaceful, they want you to be slaving like for them and doing stuff for them, and then continue the abuse, and you know what I'm saying? And a lot of us, we're not okay with that. So anyways, as a caregiver, I want to give you guys this lesson that my patient or my client made me think about, okay? So she asked me this question: are they capable of changing? Do you see this person capable of changing? Can they change their behavior? And I say I've seen it change other ways. I mean, from very programmed and conditioned to someone, and that's it. That's what she kept me reminding, is that if you see the potential, or you feel it, or you know it, or little actions that they do that make you realize that they're capable of changing their behavior from malignant, evil, vile to with conscience, emotional intelligence, and empathy, there is that, but another thing that she made me realize, that not having that belief or thinking that everybody can have that capability of changing is what slows me down and delays me. So that too, she made me realize that if you're the same person that you were 5 years ago, or how many years ago, and I said, no, I'm not at all, And this is someone that I'm literally like taking care of, like, making sure, but very smart in their own way, in their own capabilities. Because for some people, they might look like, oh, they're not that smart, they're just, their mind is like a kid or something like that, or they have a disability. So no, you have to see everybody the same way, no matter what circumstances or things. This is why a lot of you, I highly suggest, if you're lacking empathy, go help someone. Go deal with an elderly, go help a homeless person, or go help someone with a disability. Go be kind to someone. Like, those are things that you need to survive in this planet. Do not let the oligarchs, billionaires, psycho fucking parasite yeast infection of this planet take that away from you. Do you understand? And yes, those things, most of you have to do it for free. And I've been doing a lot of shit for free, and Father God been blessing me no matter what, wherever circumstances, because my focus is not the money. I know the money will come, and that's another thing too. A lot of you like thinking that because I'm against these psychopath pedos that I have something against money. No, I have something against people stealing and getting away with it. I have a problem with people stealing, destiny swapping kids and families and stuff like that, taking what is not theirs for themselves so that they can be like them, or some of it take for themselves the fear and all this weird energy, taking it, drinking it, eating it, so that they can stay youthful and maintain their wealth. That's what I'm against. I don't know about you, but I have nothing against money. I have something against billionaires, motherfucking bullshit kakalaka, thinking that they're gonna continue living off the oppressed. That's what I'm against. I'm not against people getting their money back. I'm not against that. I'm not against people literally taking back all those billions and redistributing it properly, because that's what we're dealing with, distribution, that it's literally hoarder for a certain amount of people, and then everybody else fuck all. But we will still take your money, but we will still take your taxes, but we will still gaslight you and project towards you and damage and trauma you and all that stuff and force you, because it's by force, right? Nobody's okay with the shit, but some of you, if it feels forced, it is force. It is. Don't let him gaslight you. It is. And they gaslight and project you so that you don't retaliate against them. So that you don't, so they don't look like the crazy people. So they can continue doing what they're doing. So, my message here is not that those people who you see that have potential to change. Other people, forget it, they're not. Stop making compromises. Stop thinking that they can change. Stop thinking that, oh, if they're forgiven by God, if God prays over them, that they're going to be saved, or blah, 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 blah. You know there's some people who cannot be saved. Who continue constantly, the ten of swords, continue betraying, lying, continue killing, continue. They don't stop, right? Those are the one I'm talking about. Those have no capability of changing at all. They don't want to. It doesn't benefit them. So you want to reason with those people? Okay, you do your best. God bless you. A lot of us, we don't have time for that. We need to stop the parasitic energy, the evil that's trying to destroy humanity and our planet once and for all. We don't have time for that. So welcome, join us if you're into it, if you're down for it. But it really is like that. You either on the side of pedophilia, psychopaths, war criminals, politicians who are engulfed with lobbyists who are involved in all that stuff, who are in the occult, who are trying to get money from all of this, even travel around the world, bitch whoring our country, selling our resources and stuff like that. I see you, Carney. I see you. You're like the gold digger men whore. Here, take it. I have this, you can have this. The same thing that the fucking Venezuelan bitch did. Here, we have the best oil here. And now we're mad because Iran is not fucking selling their dick and their pussy for these motherfuckers, right? They're not willing to sacrifice their kids, so they're bombing them and killing them because you don't want to give them to me. So that I have control and invade yeah, that's it. Watch out for the kids in Venezuela. Watch out for the kids in Cuba. Watch out for the kids in the ICE detentions. A lot of you don't get distracted because they need a lot of energy to maintain their bullshit propaganda, not just with money, with trillions, but whatever sacrifices that they're doing. Genocide is part of the ritual. Bombing is part of the ritual. And a lot of us who are against that, you are slowing them down. You're delaying it. You're exposing them. You're making them lose money. Good. Continue making them lose money. Continue. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Learn from their resistance. Free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, and free all the oppressed. And I hope this message reach whoever you need to reach. Know and understand that when you see that potential, don't give up on that person or people, places, or thing. They have a capability, just they're not educated enough. They're not aware enough. They're not in the same level of healing or decolonization. There's levels to it, okay? Just recognize which level they're at and you act accordingly. Don't gaslight it. Don't do none of that. Don't do that. They have their opinions about how we should do this. That's okay. They can have their opinions. So do you. But your opinions are supposed to be different. Make sure you're not a Thomas, that you need the Christ consciousness to show you the whole, to show your oppression and or the killing and murdering us, right? To show you, to prove to you that it's real, that it's happening, huh? You're supposed to believe it already. You're supposed to know, intuitively you know. Are they hijacking that too? You need to be aware when someone is trying to disrupt your intuition, trying to block your intuition, trying to keep you asleep. That's their goal too. They don't want you awake. It's not beneficial. They can control and manipulate you. They can continue taking money from you. They can continue stealing from you. Know that the enemy will not go into people's houses if it has nothing there to steal. That's it. Snakes are not gonna, that's it. But a lot of you, Spirit say, don't settle for poison. It's not going to help you in the end. Love you.